unnecessary, then it would degrade the performance of your application. We've already talked about double data type. It consumes 8 bytes of memory and it can have a decimal number within this range. Essentially what this means is, in simple terms, you can have up to 15 decimal digits, which means the numbers that come after the decimal point. Float is a shorter version of double and it just consumes 4 bytes of memory, and you can have a decimal number within this range. Essentially, you can have up to 7 decimal digits. We have a couple of other data types. Boolean is a data type that holds only 2 values. There are only 2 possible values that a Boolean can hold. One is true and the other is false, and it just consumes 1 bit of memory. Actually, it's not reasonable to say it takes 1 bit of memory. It's actually dependent on few other factors, one of which is the JVM that you're using. But typically, let's assume it just takes 1 bit of memory. Char data type is a single 16-bit Unicode character. It consumes 2 bytes of memory and number has to fall in within this range. This might confuse a little bit for you because we're talking about character. Character can be letter A, an uppercase A, or lowercase x, but how come we have numbers, numericals here? In order to demonstrate the data type char, I already have a program written. Let's go through it. If you take a look at the character variable C3, then it's just holding a single character, in this case it's A. But character data type can also hold a numerical. If we try to print C1, it won't print 76. Instead, it would print a character which is corresponding to this Unicode. For example, for 76, the character that is corresponding to this is letter L. And for 40, it is the opening parenthesis. Let's run this program so that we'll understand more. Let's open the command processor, go to desktop, that's where my program is residing. Let's do CLS to clear the screen, and to Java C char.java. Let's run it. So let's see what has happened. The char for Unicode 76 is L. So this is the instruction which prints that. The char for Unicode 76 is C1. So it just retrieved the letter corresponding to Unicode 76. Same is the case with C2. Char for Unicode 40 is open parenthesis. Now for C3, we're just simply displaying what is there here, the letter A. Now here is the interesting part. The plus plus is an increment operator. Soon we're going to discuss what this is. In this case, what it is doing is, for C3 character A, if you do C3 plus plus, it will just increment the Unicode of A by 1. By that I mean the Unicode of A is 65, and it will increment it by 1. So it will be 66. And when we print C3 now, it would print the character corresponding to the number 66, letter B. In our future examples, we would definitely be using this operator again and again. I'm sure that you would feel much comfortable with this. Now one more thing to note is the Unicode character set has, like I mentioned, it has 65,000 numericals, so that means there are 65,000 plus characters as well, which means it supports all the characters in most of the popular languages. Now if you give a number, something like 30,000, 60,000, something like that, now the character corresponding to it may not get displayed in the command processor. It's because the command processor does not support all the characters. If you have much advanced GUI interface to run this program, maybe something like Eclipse or something, then you can probably display the output in most of the popular languages like German, French, Latin, etc. Alright. Data types is a pretty vast concept in Java, and whatever we have discussed in this video are just primitive data types, and when it comes to non-primitive data types or object data types, it's pretty vast. That being said, don't get terrified. We're going to cover everything in detail, and I'm sure that I'm going to make you feel comfortable. But for now, these are called primitive data types, and I believe now you have a fair idea on what these are. Some sometimes it's the problems faced by developers or programmers which will introduce new features. Same is the case with arrays. Let me explain you what I mean. Take a look at this program. What we're having the salary details of 10 different employees of a company. For example, Ron earns $10 million and Krish earns $12 million. Obviously, no paying job would pay you so much whatsoever. But for example's sake, let's assume so. Now, let's say I wanted to find out the average salary of all these employees. The formula that we need to use is sum of all the salaries of all the employees divided by the number of employees. So I would do Ron plus Ben plus Piper plus Krish plus blah 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 divided by and then the count 10. Let me just make sure it is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Sorry, it's 11. So here is the problem. It is pretty tiresome for me to write, and it's even more tiresome for you to listen. Also, let's say we have some hundreds of employees here, and we need to give a proper count here, which is painstaking process. If I give an incorrect count, then that would yield a very bad result. So how do we solve this problem with arrays? Let me pull pen and paper and let's see a real-time example of arrays. Alright, let's say you own a transportation business and you specialize in transporting cars. So now you got a requirement where you need to transport 10 cars. Now we have a source and destination, which is where you need to transport the cars to. Now you'll start by sending all the cars on the road. Car C1, C2, C3. Now the problem is it's pretty difficult to keep track on each and every car, make sure it is safe, take care of all the fuel expenses and potential physical damage to the car, etc. There are a lot of things to be considered. And it's pretty hard to manage. What if one of the driver just goes away with the car, not taking to its destination? Pretty tough. So how do we solve this problem? Instead of hiring 10 different drivers and managing 10 different cars, you would just hire one truck. Let's call this truck as truck T. And this truck has a certain capacity. Let's say it has a capacity to hold 12 cars. And each segment or each section will be identified with an index starting from 0. So the first section can be accessed with 0 index, and the second with 1, the third with 2, the fourth with 3. Now once you load all the cars into this truck, and once it reaches to the destination, you can pull a certain car using the index. For example, if you say T0, that would pull the car inside this segment. If you say T3, that would pull the car in the fourth segment. So that's exactly what arrays in Java. Let me go a little bit more technical into this. When you say int a equals 10, as I've already mentioned, this would create a memory size of 4 bytes and store the value of 10 in this, and this memory location can be accessed with an identifier called a in this case. And if you have 10 another integer variables, you would create 10 another memory locations, each of 4 bytes. But whereas if you create an array, it would just create one memory location, one big chunk of memory location, something like this. And whatever the size that you specify while creating the array is the number of segments it contains. And each of these segments can be accessed with an index starting from 0. Now if you want to pull the value inside one of the index, you would access it using the index. If you want to pull the fourth element, you would use index 3. Now let's apply this on our code and let's see how we can solve the problem. Let's get rid of all the code in here and start writing a fresh code. Now, the way we declare and initialize a variable is, by the way, we didn't talk about declaration and initialization. We will in a while. But to declare and initialize a variable, we say in ron equals 10. Now, to declare and initialize an array, all you would do is to add a square bracket here. Now, we can't give the value 10 here. We need to use a keyword called new, and then the data type, in this case it's int, and then remember I talked about segments? That's what you need to give here. You need to tell Java how many segments of memory would you be requiring. Let's say 10. Now we have an array created. We have 10 memory locations created. All we need to do is insert value. What we need to do is we just say wrong. Let's change the name wrong. Your time. Let me just finish all the typing and then I'll get back. Okay, here we are. Now all you would do to find the average salary is this. Now please note that you may not be able to understand some of these instructions. When we taught the concept of control statements, classes and methods, you would better understand these equations. We'll definitely be getting back on these examples and we'll make you understand. But just for the explanation's sake, what we're doing here is we're just looping through each and every individual item in this array, and then we are adding each other. By the end, we're having the sum of all the elements. And in here, what we're doing is we're getting the sum divided by the length of an array. Going back on the problem statement we had to count each and every individual variable and type the exact count here. But in here, you can just say array.length. So this would just take the length of the array itself. In here, we're just printing the average. Let's try to run the program. Cool, it displayed the average salary. Now the key thing to note here is we gave the size as 10. If you just fill only 5 of them, we would still be having 10 memory locations. So when we do array.length, it actually gets the size of an array, which is 10, regardless of number of segments that were filled. So that's one of the primary disadvantages of using arrays. You have to know upfront the size of the array that you're going to use. Otherwise, most of the memory will be wasted. The point that I want you to take away from this is, let's say we have thousands of employees. You don't have to type in each and every variable. Instead, you can just have the similar lines of code which would do the magic. This is just one simple example of array, but this does not actually explain the real advantage of arrays. To know more on arrays, we need to cover the concepts of classes, objects, methods. Also, we need to go through the control statements to understand better. But for now, this should suffice. Now let's quickly talk about declaration and initialization. By the way, we can further shrink this code and reduce the number of lines by using curly braces. So instead of giving a fixed number of 10 and entering each and every value in this manner, we can just simply get rid of this get rid of this as well and simply use curly braces and give the numbers or the values separated by comma. Something like this: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now the size of array dependent on number of values that you give here. Now this statement makes more sense and this would never go wrong. Now let's try to run the program again. Cool, we got the average. So it's working. Okay, now let's see declarations and initialization. As I have already mentioned, we have two different types of data types. One is primitive, other one is non-primitive or object type. In case of primitive data type, like int a equals 10, this is the declaration part. And if we assign some value to it, that's called initialization. So when we say int a, we will create a memory location with a as identifier, and we would have a default value of 0 regardless of initialization. So even if you don't say a equals 10 or something, we would still have a memory location created. But that's not the case with non-primitive data types. For example, in case of array, if you say int square brackets array, this is just a declaration of array of integers. This would just tell compiler that we're creating an array of integers. Unless you use a keyword called new, no actual memory will be allocated. So you need to say array equals new int of certain size. Then this would just create 10 memory locations, and each memory location would be of size 4 bytes. So this part is called declaration, and this is called initialization. Now let's go back to our workbench and see a few other examples. Now in this example, what we're doing is we're just sorting all the values of an array in ascending order. So the function, the method, by the way, method is synonymous to functions in C language. And one
hate when that fucking happens. I have nothing. I have no story. There's no face. I hate it's like, oh, find her face. Can't you? Mm-hmm.
friends. We are unboxing. Well, hello, my friends. We are unboxing a hand TV. Oh, it is so nice. I just thought I'd show it to you. The sound is. Well, hello, my friends. We are unboxing. Nice. I just thought I'd show it to you. The sound is. Well, hello, my friends. We are unboxing a hand TV.
This holiday at T-Mobile, get an iPhone 12 with 5G on us on every single plan. Switch now and save 20% on your bill versus the other guys. That's right, iPhone 12 on us. It's time to holiday on.
I'm Yusma, 78, and so far life is great. I like to work in my garden, and I like to go hiking in the mountains and go down to the ocean and go boogie boarding, and I like to play golf, and I have a show I've been doing for 22 years with women well over 60, Yusma and her fabulous females, and we sing at the Unurban Coffee House, opening again soon. Now I'm going to try to do a long shot because I don't know how to get this all in one shot, so that's not looking too good. Oh, shit! Sorry, that won't work out. Hi, I'm Yusma, 78, and so far life is great. I like to work in my garden, and... Hi, I'm Yusma. But I'm fucking forced to wear them because I can't. Anyway, that's what it was like with no makeup, fully stressed, fully tired, yes. Great things happen. Dude, stop fucking with the mouse. How hard it gets, you guys, don't worry, it's gonna be alright. It is. I'm losing my mind.
Well, that's fucking weird. I don't remember that last part.
Guys, don't worry, it's gonna be alright. I think I'm losing my mind.
Oh. Not the same video? Oh god. We've seen this a million times. Nothing special. Let's see what's in here.
Okay, so this is my first pass at my, second pass at the color keyboard, and I'm just keeping it simple. I'm not using a background, I'm just using the colors. And I'm going to change the keys. I think I had it at, let's see, what color was it? And then the keys were, no, background was like, I think like that. but it was that. But if I go back to a color, let's see. I don't like those colors. If I want to go back, say to the regular. So let's make another one real quick. We'll make a Okay, this is just a little video in case you get locked out of this famous little thing called secure folder. Say you get locked out, right? And you forget your PIN and you have so many attempts. And then after so many attempts, you hit forgot your PIN and then the app just closes and it doesn't restart. Well, I was on the phone with Samsung tech support and customer service for over an hour and they couldn't figure it out. And basically they wanted me to factory reset the phone. Well, I figured out the trick. What it was not you don't have to first they wanted me to start it in. They wanted to do a remote session. They wanted me to clear the data, how you would do that is you would go into your app settings. You go into your settings, you'll go into your apps, you'll go into secure folder, and where is it? What they want you to do is go into your storage and clear the cache and clear the data. You don't have to do that, okay? So that's what we tried and it didn't work. It just kept trying to restart and wouldn't work. Trying to restart wouldn't work. So I was looking at the other settings, the notifications, the permissions, the set as default, draw over other apps, and I'll tell you the secret of what it was at the end of what I'm about to say. It does come back to the permissions. Okay, so I couldn't uninstall updates, I couldn't update it at all. So what they also stated is that if you go into your lock screen and security, it'll tell you, okay, private mode, that's on, and then secure folder. Lock your private content and apps to enhance security. You can encrypt your phone if you want. But Samsung security is really, really damn secure. So none of that worked. So basically, when I would go to my secure folder and I hit the wrong pin like 5 times, I would go and there would be right here like a little thing that said reset pin by logging into your Samsung account. I would hit that and then the app would just close. App would just close. App would just close. So what I noticed was, there's something tricky about this. So I went to check the device administrators. So let's go check our device administrators. Okay, now only device administrators should be is like your Google Find My Device or like Microsoft or something that you really, really trust. Device administrators. Okay, let's see. Administrators. Device administrators. Device administrators. Device administrators. Device. Oh, great. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Now, where the fuck would it be? Security, administrators. Where is that? Here it is, foreign administrators. Okay. Now look at all those up there. The only one that I have selected is Find My Device, because I know that motherfucker works. Now, I recently installed Avast Mobile Security just because I needed an extra layer just to test it out. Now, I didn't make Microsoft Authenticator a device administrator because I'm having problems with it, because if someone knows your Microsoft account information, they could fuck with it. And I didn't make Google Pay administrator because I don't fucking use Google Pay. And I didn't let screen lock service, because that screen lock, what is screen lock? That is a part of Authenticator. Is that a part of Samsung? Is that a part of an app lock program? I don't exactly know what screen lock that refers to. Is it part of Knox? I don't think so. And then I noticed Secure Folder is now set as a possible phone administrator. And is it selected? Hell no. So, in case that is selected, make sure you deselect it. All you have to do is go into your apps, you go back to your settings, you go back to your apps, you go back to your Secure Folder, and this is the trick. What you have to do, so you don't get that error of it keep switching off on you, because this is how sneaky it was, is that you make sure that the setting at the very, very bottom that says Modify System Settings is off, and Draw Over Other Apps is on. And no permissions are required. So, A, no permissions are required. None. B, Draw Over Apps are on. And most importantly, this is what did it, is Modify System Settings off. Secure Folder should not be able to modify your system settings. And that's what made it work again. So now I can go into my Secure Folder. I'm not going to type my PIN. Let me just pause it real quick. And bam, there I am. By default, I'm in my Secure Folder. And I got it back. And boy, this is really a good feature, you guys. Take advantage of it. So that is the trick. If you ever have problems with it, that's how you solve it. You don't have to. Watch this. Okay. Like most virtual technology and most apps now, Firefox are actually in cahoots. And DuckDuckGo, well, I can't get into that. My point is, why is this app accessing my WhatsApp data with my private name? Hold on.
So I just exported the MP3 because I couldn't play it for some reason because I was screen sharing and audio channels were like, I guess, taken in.
DJ Young JD. Flock Myers, man. TrapTapeMusic.com. South Carolina record. You know how the fuck we kicking them, man. Shout out all these goddamn dope boy, nigga. Shout out to the streets, man. We bring this shit right back to the streets, nigga. Squad. Hey, run that shit the fuck back, man. These pussy niggas ain't in these crazy, nigga. Shout out to nigga. Shout out to the streets, man. Fuck we kicking them. Fuck we kicking them, man. Fuck we kicking them, man. Fuck we kicking them, man. Fuck we kicking them. Fuck we kicking them. Fuck we nigga. Back back to the streets, nigga. Squad. Hey, run that shit the fuck back, man. These pussy fuck we kicking them, man. Shout out.
fast forward through some of this shit. it. So. column. Wetland. Oh my god. Move column. Okay. Thanks. We want, just close that for now. We want Play Store, So I want to go to pictures, cloning, icons. Okay. Alright. Show folder. What is this now? Those aren't even the apps. Oh my god. What? No, 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 no. shit. Here we go with that again. Oh my god. Insert. Starting a crop. Okay. Okay. Um, real Okay, okay. I don't fucking care. Format. Ow! Show all. Format. Site over. Control A. Format objects. Okay. Control A. File. Power pivot table. Format. Assign a macro. Insert module.